In August of 2024, my OnlyFans agency grossed over $67,000, which is more than I have ever generated in my entire life and my entire 2 years of doing this. I'm very proud of that result. I'm also very proud to be making this video, which is the first video that I've ever made like this, where I talk about my earnings and what I learned from it. Now, I will get into the 7 lessons and takeaways that I have gotten from the past month. However, I want to tell you first why this video is special to me. So humor me. So with OFM, I've been doing it for about 2 years, and I never made a video like this. I never talk about how much I made because the numbers were just not that good. I wasn't really good at it. I didn't know how to put together all the parts and make a lot of money. Yes, people knew who I was. Yes, I had a group. Yes, I had a YouTube channel. Yes, I was fucking visible and I knew people and blah, blah, blah. And I sold proxies and I wasn't broke. You know, I'm doing okay. But I didn't have the like street cred of like, he has done it and here are his fucking numbers. So he can back it up. You can understand something conceptually, but if you haven't done it, then how well do you really understand it? And I can say that that's 100% true, because I didn't really understand it the way that I understand it now after doing what I did in the past month. I'm very proud of myself. I built this thing entirely by myself. Obviously, I had the help of all the people that work for me. So shout out to my chatters, shout out to my models, shout out to my assistants, shout out to all the people that helped me along the way. Thank you very much. I could not have done this without you. I could not do it by myself. Definitely could not do it by myself. So yeah, if at any point you have helped me and you know that you have, like probably, or you know if you have, I just want you to know that this video is also thanking you. So I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into the business. All right. So number one, shit. Did I just mute myself? Number one. Okay, so these are lessons and takeaways that I got from the first month. Number one, good chatters are the main driver of growth. So the reason why this is like a key lesson and a key takeaway for me is because before I started making a lot of money, I never really put it together that it's the chatters. Nobody talks about chatters. Nobody talks about chatting. Nobody talks about how good it is that they have a good chatter that works for them, or how amazing their chat team is, or like how slick their chatters are. Or fucking how good it never gets talked about. It's like why? I have no idea why, honestly. Everybody talks about, oh, I got this model. Really what everybody talks about is traffic. Oh, help me with this technical thing for this type of traffic, please. Like I'm not getting any subs, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, who fucking cares? Like if you have good chatters, that is literally 80% of the game. OnlyFans management is a game of good chatters. That's it. There. I just saved you thousands of dollars and a bunch of fucking wasted time. If you have good chatters, that's it. You're 80% there. Done. That's all. Models, easy. Here's $500. I got a model. Traffic, again, pay somebody $500 to pick your platform for a month and you get traffic, subs. If you can nail the chatting thing, which I would argue has a steeper learning curve than both models and traffic, if you can nail that, and okay, fine. I haven't nailed it exactly to the level that I want to. I look at my accounts every day. I review the chats. I see there's still a lot of room for improvement. But the improvement that I've seen since 2 months ago, 2 full months ago, I've done more than I did in the past 2 years combined. Okay. For the first month I did 40K. Now I did 67K. That's over 100 and also like, let's say 100 grand. I haven't grossed. Well, no, that's not true. I probably have grossed over 100 grand in revenue. Anyway, it's still really fucking good. Like for that time period, it's amazing. I'm on the moon. I'm very happy. And the main takeaway, okay, is that good chatters are the main driver. Right now, I have traffic, I have models, and literally the difference between the agency doing 67K and 167K is me doubling and tripling the roster of chatters. Because everything else I can pay for. I can buy. I can't buy good chatters. I can't pay money to get a good chatter. Oh, what about the chatting agency? I mean, come on. No comment. Number 2, New chatters learn faster when they are working on the same account as older chatters instead of being given their own accounts. So this is something that I actually just learned last week. So what I had done before, my idea was to give every chatter their own account. And regardless of how big the account was, regardless of how much money the account was making, every chatter would have their own account and the good chatters would be rewarded with the best accounts. I was like, that's how I want to do it. That's how we're going to do it, period. I want to scale. I want a large thing. I want a lot of people working for me. It just appeals to me. And so that is how we're going to do it. I have all these accounts and I need more chatters. So that's it. Now, some chatters were able to get up to speed with that method. I was very lucky to have 4 good ones very quickly. However, after that, it was hit or miss. I had a string of like very bad chatters that I pushed through the training and they ended up getting fired or quit. It was very frustrating for me. And I was like, why can't I recreate the magic of those first 4 that I got who are gold? They're gold. They're pure gold. If you guys are watching this, you guys are pure gold. There, I said it. So I was like, fuck, how do we do this? And so what I was trying to do was I was assigning chatters to one account. And I was like, okay, maybe this guy will vibe with this girl and he'll be able to do it. But the success on those accounts was very hit or miss. And it just wasn't working. They weren't improving at the rate that I wanted them to improve. Even they had a manager, like it still wasn't working. It wasn't coming together. They weren't doing numbers. And like, I was like, why? It can't be the girl. Like the girl can't be the thing. Fucking, this girl's hotter. I gave him an account with the hotter girl. He's selling for less. How do you explain that? So what I did a couple days ago is I reviewed the inflow statistics for my top 2 chatters on inflow. They were both on different accounts. And I was like, okay, like let's see how many, because I'm reviewing the stats of the shitty chatters. Well, sorry, the chatters who aren't producing big numbers. And I'm reviewing because I wanted to make sure they're doing, sending enough messages and talking to enough fans. So I'm reviewing them. So I knew how much they were doing. And then when I reviewed the good chatters, I'm like, oh my God, these guys are only talking to 50 fans a day. This account is doing, a lot of money and it's got fucking 800, 700 fans on it. What about all those other fans? Nobody's talking to them, leaving money on the table. The second account has 2,200 fans. The dude's talking to 50. So it's like, fuck, just leaving money on the table. So eventually what I did is I was like, I reassigned the new chatters to the bigger accounts. I was like, okay, you guys are fucking on the bigger accounts as well. And the 2 good chatters who were on those accounts first, I was like, you guys are the managers of those accounts. Make sure these guys don't fuck it up. And what happened extremely quickly, is that the new chatters started doing bigger numbers. And I was like, wow, that's all it took for them to get good, is just put them on an account with an experienced chatter, not give them their own account. And you would think if they had their own account, they would do better because they get all the fans for themselves. They don't have to share. But when you have somebody who, and I guess actually now that I think about it, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, if I'm on an account and you're on an account and I do $1,000, you're not going to do $40 because like I just did 1,000. So you don't have that excuse in your mind of like, well, and what they could have said is like, oh, my girl's uglier, or my girl doesn't have as much traffic, or whatever. So that's one of the reasons why they started selling more, I believe. I think another reason is that I forgot what I was going to say. They just did, because the fucking chatter manager is like there working at the same time they're working. I let them work at the same time. There's no shifts. No, you all work at the same time and just label your fans with your name. Like, you guys don't understand. My ship is run like the fucking Marine Corps. There's no worry that like somebody will steal. There's no worry that somebody will fuck up an account. Like, I raised these motherfuckers from an egg, and now they became an egg into a chicken into a fucking Marine. So there's no worry. There's 100% trust. Anyway, when they have somebody who's a manager who's like looking over their shoulder, making sure they don't fuck shit up, they're going to try a lot harder. All right. Number 3. The best use of my time Guess what it is? The best use of my time is hiring more quality chatters and developing my current chatters into better versions of themselves. So, right now, like the connection that I made in my mind really months ago, but just didn't do anything about it. The connection I made in my mind is that if I have more good chatters, I will make more money. That's it. You want to make more money in OFM? And notice I didn't say if I have more traffic, I will make make more money. Yes, that's true, but you need the chatters. You need them. It's not like you should have them, hopefully. No, you need good chatters. If you have shitty chatters on your accounts, like because I know most of you are probably better at traffic than I am. I know it for a fact. I'm like bottom 20% of traffic. And I know I'm thinking about you guys that you're just crushing at traffic. You're just technical geniuses. And you're probably working with these chatters who are dumb as fucking rocks, dude. Dumb as rocks. And I'm like, man, if I could just get your traffic, if I could just get that traffic and have you just do it for my models, like my guys would clean up. Anyway, the point is that the best use of my time is hiring and training, or hiring more quality. Let's talk about the hiring first. So right now I have a manpower issue where like I have more accounts than I have chatters. I have more accounts that are getting traffic than I have chatters who can be on the accounts. And it's simple, right? If I hire 3 more chatters and I scale these guys to $250 a day, and that's very low, by the way. Like they should be doing that fast. But if they do that for, $750 a day, it's another, $20,000 a month. I'll take it. Sure. Okay. I'm not doing 200, but like, let's say we double that and they're doing 500 a day. That's 45 grand a month. That's sound a little bit better, right? Is that right? Yeah. Anyway. So the point is that I need more bodies, right? As good as my guys are, let's say all my guys, like they reach their full potential next week and they're just maxing out every day, like my top 4. There's still a manpower issue. I still need more people, right? I still need more bodies to put on the accounts. Now let's talk about developing my current team, how that's also an excellent use of my time. So I have seen a major change in all of my chatters who are good and who have been with me for a long time. The 4 that I have, one of them I've had him for a year. Yeah, he's not perfect. Yeah, he still fucks up. And yeah, he still drives me fucking crazy sometimes. But compared to how he was when he started, he's a gajillion times better, more mature, more focused, more professional. I've never fucking talked to him, but I can just tell he's got a better head on his shoulders now than he did a year ago. And I know it's like whatever. I know that his life has gotten better. I know that he's just changed for the better as a result of working for me, straight up. Now, I wasn't even really trying to help him very much. My version of helping him was like, fucking yelling at him when he did something wrong. That's all it was. And having higher expectations of him. What he kind of is, he's kind of like the son that I had. This is weird, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be weird or anything if you watch this, but he's like the son I had that like when I was a bad dad and I was like on drugs and like didn't really care that I had a son and just yelled at him, like made him do stuff. And then like we reconnected later and I had a big family and now I'm like trying to raise this new family right. And I'm trying to bring him back into my life. It's a super random example that I just thought of. So I need to like retroactively develop him additionally. So anyway, the point is that I need to develop, it's a very good use of my time to develop my team. I have 2 guys right now who I hired 2 months ago who are both managers, no experience before that. I've seen a change in them over the past 2 months. And I'm not just talking about their numbers. I'm not just talking about their sales. Both of them they had no experience before and now they're killing it. So obviously, yes, they're doing better. I have another guy, also hired him 2 months ago. And he's not a manager yet, but like he will be soon, he's on his way. And I've seen a difference in him as well. And like, you got to understand, okay, as an agency owner, I said this in a video about continuous improvement. Good video, you should watch it. But you got to understand that the people that come to you to work for you are going to be broken people, models, chatters, whatever. They don't have any positive influence on their life. They're probably not trying to improve themselves regularly like you are. And you have to be that positive influence. You have to be the one that expects more from them, because people have the ability to rise to the occasion. They have the ability to do amazing things if they have somebody in their life who expects it from them. Okay. Your expectations of other people determine how you will be treated. If you're a guy and you walk around and you think you're ugly and stupid and fat and a fucking loser, that's how people will treat you. But if you walk around and you expect all the girls that you see to want to fucking fall to their knees and suck your dick immediately, then they will feel that and it will come through in your conversation. And, it will happen immediately, right? Not actually, but you get what I'm saying. Your attitude about yourself matters, and your attitude about other people matters. Your expectations of other people matter. And especially when you have somebody in an important and sensitive position as chatter or salesperson, then you need to work on developing them. So one of the things that I just did a couple days ago is I made them all set goals. They all must complete a worksheet of setting goals. It's a survey, all of them, and it's visible to everybody. Everybody can see everybody else's goals. I did it too. Everybody can see my goals. I don't give a fuck. There's nothing to hide here. There's nothing to hide at fucking Poppy Agency. That's not how it works. You're not embarrassed. I don't give a fuck if you're embarrassed. Do it. Tell people what your goals are. Speak it out to the world. That's part of developing them, right? You have the sales training and all that stuff as well. But you got to understand that if you employ, really with business in general, like all these people that you employ, you have the opportunity. Think about it like this. You have the opportunity to improve their life in ways that they cannot even imagine, because you as a business owner have been through what they have been through. You've passed that level, and you can work on bringing them up to your level in ways that they don't understand via methods that they have no experience with. And if you do that, that's really the fucking key to building something really big and fucking awesome. Or, there's a lot of ways to do it, obviously. I like this way because it just happens to be something that I'm, better at than fucking writing software or something. But I've realized that I'm good at it, and that's what I'm going to focus on because it's a great use of my time. Great. Number 4, it is better to just fire low quality workers than to try to motivate them with negative feedback. This is a very big lesson for me. What I thought because I was very good with the new chatters that I hired. The first ones that I hired, they all turned out good. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm just a great trainer. My training program is amazing. Everybody I've hired has turned out to be fucking amazing. So it's obviously me. I'm the common factor here. And what I did after that is I loosened my filtering process, and I started just giving everybody a chance. And what happened is that some people made it through the whole process to actually become workers and to actually get accounts. And I passed people through who I knew that I shouldn't have passed them through. I knew basically, I was like, if this motherfucker makes it, I'm going to be so surprised, shocked. And what I tried to do, and I knew as soon as they started that okay, I should probably fire this guy. But I dragged it out and dragged it out and dragged it out and didn't do it because it's uncomfortable. And along the way, what I tried to do is I would try to motivate them with negative feedback. And I think I got a little carried away. I think I just took it too far with some people. I got too personal, and I was too enthusiastic with my feedback giving. And it's wrong. And if you guys watch this now, I'm not talking about any of the people that work for me. You guys all need to fucking keep your shit together. But from the previous hiring group, some of those people, I never should have hired them in the first place. And I should have let them go politely very early on once I realized that it just wasn't going to work for them. And when you do that, or when I did that, it was much easier for me to focus on the important stuff. Whether it's models, whether it's chatters, if you have people that you have to constantly fucking yell at and tell them to do the same thing over and over, and even when you're mean to them, they don't get the fucking point, just let them go. It's not worth it wasn't worth my time to do it. And more importantly, it doesn't work. It does not work. Okay. If you have somebody, they're going through your training program and they fuck up, because they're stupid or they're not right for the role or what, they don't really want it that badly, and you're like the only guy who gave them a chance, so they're just kind of here going through the motions. You're not going to get them to do it right by yelling at them and calling them stupid. So it's just not worth it. And I maybe it sounds like common sense now, but I didn't realize that because I thought initially that it was my training program that was so good. So I was like, oh, I could take anybody and I could turn them into a good chatter, but that's not true. You still need quality people. Number 5, promote good sellers with a good head on their shoulders to take on more responsibility. Now, what I wrote here initially is to make training new chatters a team effort, but what it really is to take on more responsibility so that they can not only do things that you don't want to do or that are not the best use of your time, but so that they can do other things on their own that will make everybody better. So like, think about it like this. Okay. I feel like in OFM, people have this idea that they need to do everything or they need to think of everything, or when they make instructions for people, shit needs to be fucking copy paste so that like you don't allow room for any thinking of anybody ever except for you. And all of your instructions are fucking pages and pages of Google Docs of like telling people literally what to click and what to copy paste. So that's one way of doing it. And I understand that. And I believe that SOPs have a place for sure. But with a role like chatting, which I would argue requires some creativity and it requires some level of desire to win from the salesperson, I would argue that when you promote somebody who's good, who has a good head on their shoulders, who's motivated both internally and externally, then you will vastly improve the quality of your agency very quickly through no additional work of your own. For example, one of the things that I have 2 managers now. I had one, and he was doing good. It's not like he was doing a bad job, but one of the things that I want to do with my team is I want to break people up into small teams. And there's a reason for that. Number 1, I think the competition is good. Number 2, I want to observe different management styles and be able to implement things that this guy is doing on this team. Whereas if I only had this manager, then I wouldn't get all the good ideas from this guy to like transfer them over. I want to observe different management styles for the same reason. Or is that what I just said? And yeah, that's why I like promoting good sellers. So it's not just about them doing stuff that you don't have time to do or that's not worth your time to do. They can actively make your team better in ways that you haven't even thought of and that you haven't even considered. So one of the things, like I had one of my chatters put together a complete guide on selling, how to do it, how many messages to send, how to price the content, blah, blah, blah. One of my top sellers, and he provided that to his team. Now, obviously they have to go through it he provided it to everybody. Actually, it's not like only for his team. No, everybody gets that. Anyway, the point is that when you give good people more responsibility and obviously more money, you got to think about like, who are these people that you're hiring, bro? You're hiring people that applied to be a fucking virtual assistant who would be like happy to make $200 a month so they can pay their rent and eat. And all of a sudden you fucking put them in charge of other people and they're making $2-3 grand a month. And like they're improving their lives like insanely quickly. That's going to motivate them. They're going to want to do more. They're going to want to get more. They're like, oh my God, I worked for this motherfucker for 2 months. I'm going to make fucking whatever. I don't know. A lot of fucking Filipino pesos, a lot. And they're like, oh my God, if I do more of what he says, if I get more responsibility, we can make even more money. Anyway, it's not like hard to understand why. But when I realized that promoting people with a good head on their shoulders who are also good sellers will rapidly increase the rate at which my new chatters improve as well. So one of the things that I realized recently, I don't think I mentioned that in this video, but oh yeah, I did actually. Anyway, how I put chatters on the new chatters on the teams of the experienced chatters. All right. Number 6, models and traffic matter, but the chatters are more important. It's all about chatters, this fucking video. And I kind of addressed this earlier. Yes, let's take models first. Okay. So there are some models that just easier to sell on. I'm sorry. Like, if you're my chatter, don't listen to that. Like, you should try hard just because you don't have the fucking whatever model. Like, you still need to try hard. It's still possible, period. Okay. So fucking do your job. Don't make excuses, basically. So it does matter a little bit, but not really. If you're a good chatter, I can take any of my good chatters and I can put them on the worst account and they will make money. Straight up. You can give the worst leads to the best salesperson. You can give the worst product to the best salesperson and they will still sell because they're the best salesperson, and that's all that matters. And you can give the best leads and the best product to the shit salespeople, and it'll be harder for them to sell because they don't know how to fucking sell. They don't know how to do it. So the bottom line is to learn how to fucking sell. Now let's talk about traffic. Traffic, I guess in this case, would be the leads. Yes, leads are important. Yes, traffic is important. But I have a lot of accounts that are getting a lot of traffic, getting a lot of subs. Guess how much money they're making? Zero. Because I don't have chatters for those accounts. Those accounts are not making any money. So I need chatters for those accounts. That's the point. Number 7. I must set monthly goals, and so must my chatters. So I also kind of talked about this as well. I think if you don't set a goal, if you don't have a target, then you will have nothing to draw you forward. You won't know what you're doing. You'll just like sell however much you sell, or you make however much money you make, and that's it. It's very aimless, and you're doing yourself. Really what it is, okay, so I started doing this for my chatters. And then I was like, well, fuck, if I have these motherfuckers doing it, I should probably do it for myself too. It's probably a good idea. So I started doing it too. And then what I noticed is that, number one, everybody's selling more because I made them list out how much they want to sell for and what their fucking reasons are. And also, I'm more motivated. I'm more engaged. Like, I want to sell more. I want to make more money. So it's pushing me to like increase my goals and to think of other ways to make more money. And like I said, I did we did 67,000 and change this month. I have my goal for next month. I set it at 80K, but now I think I'm going to make it 100. Why not? I mean, it'll be a stretch for sure, but like everybody's improving, everybody's getting better. And I'm going to hire some new chatters who, I hope they'll be good. Fingers crossed. But anyway, the point is that setting goals is non-negotiable. Like, you got to do it. And I'll tell you what's really helpful for me. I've noticed about myself that I just do better when there's people watching me. I don't know. Am I an attention whore? I guess, maybe. But this is even the case at the gym. Like, if I go to a gym and there's nobody there, I'm not going to have a good workout. Be bored out of my fucking mind. But if I go to the gym and there's 40 people in there and 20 of them are fucking hot girls with fucking big fake titties and lip injections, oh brother, I'm gonna get a great workout in. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Like, it's gonna be a fucking killer workout because I know, and they're not all like watching me, right? But you see other people, you see what they do, you look at them, you're like, you go to the gym, you watch somebody do a set or whatever. And I know that in my head. Yeah, and fine. Like, how much are they really looking at me? Not much. Fine. But like, I know that I exist there and they can see me and they will see me out of the corner of their eye. And I know that motivates me. And it's the same thing with OnlyFans management as well. It's why I had the blog. It's why I had the YouTube channel. It's because I knew it motivated me to know that people were watching me. Clearly not enough, because like 2 years in, I should be doing way more than fucking 67K. But it helps. And when it comes to chatters, it's weird because it's like they're watching me. You know what I mean? When you are the boss, when you are the top guy in an organization, everybody's watching you. Everybody's looking at you. You are the one guy that everybody is focused on. Not the top salesperson, not this model, not the fucking assistant. You are the boss. Everybody is watching you and looking at you to see what you do. Because obviously they want to keep their job. They want to stay on your good side. They're engaged, hopefully, in their day-to-day. And I know that like if I'm basically paying them to pay attention to me. I'm paying them. I'm basically saying to them, I'm paying you money. You have to listen to everything that I say. Amazing. It's great. That's why I do YouTube, so people listen to me. Now I have, what do I have? I don't know, 7, 8 people who guaranteed, if I'm like, bro, watch this video immediately, they will watch it. And so now it's almost like I have them there to hold me accountable to hit my goals. Whereas I didn't really have that before. Yeah, I could make a video on here and talk to like the OFM people, but okay, you watch the video. Let's say you're one of the 100 people who watch it as you're cooking dinner in the background. Are you really that invested? Do you really care that much? No, you're not going to care the same way as if like I'm your boss and you have to fucking communicate with me and answer to me every day. Those people are much more engaged. So I have like my little audience of people that I can set goals in front of. And it's great. It's like an extra additional motivational tool. I've set tons of goals in the past, never fucking stuck to them. You know, like everybody else, you make the goals, you write them down on a piece of paper, you throw the piece of paper in a drawer. It's like, oh, well, I can't throw this away. I guess I got to fucking put it somewhere. You put it like over someplace that you never look at it and you forget about it. You don't have anything to keep you on track, to keep you accountable to fucking actually do it. And now I have my lovely chatters who have to fucking listen to me and do whatever I say and listen to everything I say and watch all my videos if I want. Anyway, those are the lessons that I learned from my record-breaking month in August. Goal for September, we're going to change it to 100K. Why not? Let's do it. Let's get a 6-figure month in there. Cross that, check that box. Let me know what you think about that. Drop me a comment, like the video, and I will see you in the next one.